And we are live. Let me check. Didn't check the audio. No. Okay. Okay, there we go. And we're live. What up, players? Welcome to another episode of Player Life. And today we're going to talk about marriage in the modern era. The modern era in 2022. Um, yeah, it's just a bad idea, isn't it? It's just a bad idea. Um, I honestly think, personality wise, personally speaking, even if marriage was like, you know, everything was, back in 1950s America, everything's like, white picket fence, your wife stays home and, cleans and cooks and all that. And, there's, you can earn good money, working job and all that fucking garbage. Uh, just personality wise, for me, it wouldn't suit me either way. I'm just putting that out, just being honest. Like for me, like I'm not pretending. Oh, if it was all like, if we lived in this tradcon society, that I'd be pro marriage. I don't think I'm pro marriage either way, um, but the thing is, you know, just because that's a personal choice, just because I'm a degenerate Irishman that likes to yeah that likes to go his own way. I don't know. Am I MGTOW? Maybe I am. Maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I'm selfish. I don't know. I enjoy my personal space. I enjoy my freedom. I enjoy lack of responsibilities. Um, who wants all that responsibility, man? I don't. Um, yeah, so I think I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not going to pretend, oh, I wish it was like, but I wish women were how they used to be and all that shit. No, women are always women. um Marriage, all that shit, you always had responsibilities. It was always, it was always a thing that was not I don't think it would ever have been appealing to me, but in today's day and age, uh I definitely think it's definitely a lot worse than it used to be. There's just like, what's the point? What is the point of getting married? Like, you know, maybe you're lonely, you know, if you maybe you want kids, I guess. Um but I don't think I don't think men, need to have kids or anything like that. I think personally, I think women need to have kids. I think if they miss that boat, then it's very, yeah, it's going to be a very traumatic thing for to happen to them. A very lonely existence. It's like a woman never having kids is like a man never having sex. Even worse than that, I think. It used to be a thing where if a woman was infertile, it was like a tragic thing. But now women are choosing it, and it's like, all right, you know, fair enough. Yeah, enjoy your your lonely existence. Because there's a long life. There's a long life after after they reach their sexual peak. And women reach their sexual peak very young, like really young. And some people say 23 years old. I said 21. It's absurdly, women have a seriously flash in the pan kind of, flame, and then it quickly burns out after that. Um, and due to male nature, they get confused. Women get confused very, 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 and it's fair enough, because the thing is, women, even though they're past their sexual prime, their all time high, let's say, they can still get laid. Like they can still get laid, like click of the fingers, even if they're well past it, even if they've hit the wall. Like I don't think guys understand. I think guys do understand, but people, the level of thirst out there amongst men, due to scarcity and due to male nature combined. Male nature is like it's in our DNA, it's in our blood, to want to have sex. It should be anyway. And on the other hand, we live in a time where women are extremely picky, because they have choice. With the invention of the internet, everything changed. Everything changed, man. But today I want to talk. I'm gonna, do some commentary on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard story, because it's like, you know, that is some train wreck of a marriage. I mean, they're celebrities. They're always going to be, you know. I mean, marrying an actor. If a woman is an actor, that's a red flag. You have to be kind of a narcissist to be an actress or an actor. Like even, if you're an actor, you're somewhat of a narcissist. You have to be, I think, because you have to be obsessed with yourself, you know. Um but let me show you. Yeah, okay, this one. Okay, marriage in the 21st century. She says, I want marriage. He says, okay. By the way, marriage is for women. Like it's always been for women. And it's just funny how it always it's like women act it's just fucking hilarious how women act like it's somehow for men. Marriage isn't for men. There's no, like, marriage is like it's like if a guy tells me he's getting married, I want to say condolences to him. I want to say I'm sorry to hear that, man. There's no part of me that says there's no part of me deep inside of me that says congratulations. There's no part of me that's jealous. Like even if she's hot, even if she's a hottie, man. And I've seen it. Like I mean, there's absolutely zero envy. Even if she's a smoker, even if she's a hottie, I'm like, I do not want that. I do not. There's no desire in me to want to be married. Like, and it's completely different for women. It's so different. Like women get super jealous of one of their friends if she finds that, if one of her friend is getting married. They want that. They want it. But for me, I can, like, hand on my heart, I can say, like, there's zero, absolutely zero envy or jealousy from any dude that's getting married. Um, in this, well, now anytime. I never had that. Um, anyway, so yeah, she says, I want kids. He says, okay. Um, happy family. They have kids. You know, the husband working on his laptop, working from home. The wife nagging at him. You know, being annoying. Um, husband does his duties. Gardening. Cleaning, fixing things, walking the dog, mowing the lawn, all that stuff. Going to work, earning money. Comes home from work, stressed out, wrecked. Wife shouts at him again. Um, husband is taking care of the kids, kind of stressed out. Um, she says the romance is gone. He doesn't give me enough attention. To her friends, bitching about her husband. Um, yeah. So this is, you're some random dude on Facebook says, you're so beautiful. I can't stop thinking about you. She says, stop. I'm married. Um, wife keeps bitching to the husband. Random dude on Facebook says, come on, let me come over for a coffee while he's at work. Okay, but just for a coffee and a chat. See, plausible deniability, plausible deniability. Um, yeah, they're always gonna say shit like that, you know. Obviously, when the man and woman gets together, they're gonna bang, you know. Um, that's why when you're inviting chicks into your house, you always have like, let's have a coffee, let's let's watch a movie, let's do this, that, and the other. Essentially, you're saying let's fuck, but you cannot say that. All right, you cannot say that. No matter what these fucking idiot SJW types, all these womanists, all these, oh, you gotta get explicit, you gotta get them to sign the contract and explicit. You gotta state your intentions explicitly, and it's like you literally would never get laid if you do that. Yeah, so the random dude from Facebook comes over for the coffee, raw dogs his wife. He finds out, how could you do this? He got completely cucked. She says he made me feel special in her pussy. Um, they divorce. He starts crying. She takes half his shit after getting raw dogged and getting cucked. He sits in his little shack while she has the house. So that's marriage in the 21st century. Like even in Japan, there's not much difference in there's you know I think sometimes I might talk Japan up a little too much, like the society and stuff. And don't get me wrong, it's a great society and all that, but there's still, marriage would still suck anywhere, in my opinion, not just the West. I mean, I know a guy. I've told this story before, but I know a guy that I used to work in a school, and the guy there was another teacher in the school, and I never really talked to him. He was, I talked to him a little bit, but he wasn't a friend of mine. I wouldn't say he was a friend of mine or anything. It was this. So I'm walking down the corridor one day. There's no class, and he taught. He says, "Hey, can we have a talk?" And I was like, "What? Okay, yeah, sure. What's up?" Um, and we go into the classroom, and he goes, "Something really bad happened today." And I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" I don't even know that. Like, this guy is very only had brief conversations with him before, and I was like, "Sure, what happened, man?" And he said, "Well, I forgot my phone at home this morning, and I went back to get it. And when I tried to enter my house, the door was on the latch; it was locked. He had a key, so his wife was at home, and he rang the doorbell, banging on the door, what's up? Like, his wife eventually comes to the door. She looks flustered and kind of shocked and, worried. He's like, what happened? What's going on? She's like, what? Why are you home? Like, what's going on? Like, why are you here? And he's like, I forgot my phone. Like, let me in. And she's like, oh, I'll get it for you. I'll get it for you. And he's like, no, let me in. Like, there's something. He knew there was something up. So he went in, and as you know, well, she eventually opened the door after resistance. And as you know, in Japan, like, everyone takes their shoes off before going into the house. But he could like, immediately he noticed, like, there's like some shoes, like another man's shoes, like in the doorway. He's like, who's, he knew, like, everything kind of made sense at that point. And she kept, denying, like, so he went into the house, searched the house, there's no one there. um so he kept grilling her, like, whose are these shoes? Like, what happened? Like, why was the door locked? Like, what's going on? Like, was there someone here? And he kept grilling. And eventually, after like 30 minutes of arguing, she said her friend was there. Her friend was there. So, after a lot of like arguing, he made her call the guy, and he made the guy come back to the house. And like, it was some young dude that was her friend. Yeah, that was just over for some coffee, right? um And yeah, it was obvious, he was only a young guy too. He was like in his, I think he was like 27. His wife was like 23. Like it's just so, it's like, it's so archaic. It's like a 27-year-old man trying to marry a 23-year-old woman is like trying to like put a it's just not going to work. It's like something that worked 100 years ago. It seems so archaic. It's just it's so old fashioned or something. It's just not going to, it's like trying to make, I don't know, it's just not going to work with the how can you expect a 23-year-old woman in this world we live in to not be a slut? Like, she's obviously going to download, like, she's obviously going to download a dating app within, a couple of weeks, a month, or she's going to sit at home bored on Instagram, on TikTok. Anyway, Aronor says Johnny Depp can easily get a new woman. He has sky high status. Him and Will Smith. I don't understand the simping. Blue pill mindset, man. Aronor says, have you ever gotten with a married Japanese woman? I mean, many times, man. Many, many times. Many, many times. I'm a bad boy, but you know, it is what it is. If it's not me, it's going to be someone else. So, you know, I'm not a tradcon, and I'm not a conservative. Sometimes people associate being red pill with being like a tradcon. It's like, nah, bro. Like, but no, yeah. I mean, I've smashed plenty of horny housewives. You someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. Like if it's not you, it's going to be someone else. Like it's just the times we live in. Like it's, cheating's always happened. Women are promiscuous. I think, I think I do think sex lives do have, you know, they definitely have a time limit. They definitely have an expiration date. I think there's only so long you can smash one person and remain like mentally stimulated by that person. And I assume it's the same for women as well. I'm not a woman, I'll never know, but from observation, women will get bored too eventually. Like eventually they're going to, lose attraction. They'll lose that the excitement, the stimulation of being with this, the same person over and 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 over again. You know, like if you're married to someone, you're gonna, like, over time, you've obviously dated, you've all had all that honeymoon period, you essentially, you would have had sex like thousands of times, like thousands and thousands of times. So it just makes perfect sense that it's going to get boring. Like you're going to be bored by the idea even of having sex with that person. It just becomes, kind of routine. You can obviously do things to spice it up, but even at that, it's gonna get boring after a while. The only solution is to find new people. That's how it goes. I don't believe humans are not monogamous. I don't believe it. We're not. We're clearly not. Like men are certainly not. And I think women are more monogamous than men, but they're not monogamous. They're like, men certainly at a base level are not supposed to be monogamous. But I think women are maybe more, they're more inclined to be monogamous, but they're not, you know, because it makes more sense for a woman to be monogamous because they evolutionarily, they're different. They need protection while they're pregnant and all that stuff. They need guys. all this bullshit that women are equal to men, that is, it's only new. It's all this, it's only because men have created societies in which it's women can, they can, if they don't work, they're going to get looked after by governments. They're going to get social welfare, all that stuff. This didn't exist back, until very recently. They absolutely 1000% needed men. They did none of this fucking garbage. Oh, a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. All these dumb fucking phrases only came out when, you know, with the advent of social welfare and all that shit. Um, well, let's take a look at divorce. Let me see. Okay, so divorce in the 21st century. So you have your man in his little shack, the woman in her big house with the dog and kids. Uh, she says, "Shit, the kids are going to hate me." The kids say, "We miss dad. Your dad is living a new life now. He doesn't have time for you." So the dad is struggling to go to work. He's drinking too much. He's looking in the mirror. He's depressed because he's getting old. He's watching his shitty little TV. Um, the mother says, "It's your father's fault because he mistreated me and ignored me for years." Um, she goes on Facebook. Thanks for your support. Thanks everyone for your support. All these cucks and simps are on there saying, "You deserve so much better than him. I'm here for you." Beta orbiters, simps, cucks, white knights, the whole lot, man. While the single dad, the father, stays at home jerking off to internet porn. Um, the mother says it's time for bed to the kids, while some Chad comes over. um she says, "Your dad's probably out there with a new girlfriend while I'm here looking after you kids." um he says, "Man, I feel really messed up. I don't know what to do." His friend says, "You need to get into online dating and get out there." Online dating sucks, by the way. No, you need to get into day game. That's what you need to get into. You need to hit up Mac the Day Gamer. I'll sort you out. I will sort out your dating problems. He goes on, "Plenty of fish. Don't even bother if you're on some Plenty of fish fatty says, "Don't even bother if you're under 6'2" or broke. I'm a real woman and I need a real man who'll treat me like a princess. No losers. You must be career focused and ambitious." This is so fucking, like, it's so ridiculous, the world we live in. Like, and the reason women are able to be like this is, it just goes to show, because women do they're able to punch up so much higher. Women are able to get laid on dating apps very easily. Even ugly, overweight chicks. Like, the shit guys will do behind closed doors, you wouldn't believe. These guys that pretend that they have standards, they really don't. They really do not. And that's why I don't like online dating. It's just not, like, I'm not, because I either get like, nah, she's all right, or I'm gonna have to punch down. Like, and it's like, fuck that. I don't need to do that. I'm like, I have day game. I can get really hot girls from cold approach. So why would I have to settle? Because women have just too many options online. They just have so many options. Even ugly chicks. It's insane. It's insane. It's just that, yeah, it's just not worth it. Um. So anyway, he goes, the dude, single father, fat, watching porn nonstop. Depression sets in. He's looking for the rope. Um, you know, Father says, "You kids always remember that your dad loves you and misses you a lot." Kids say, "Whatever, dad. We know it's because you have a new girlfriend and don't care about us anymore." Uh, don't talk shit to the kids about me having a girlfriend and not caring about them, you crazy bitch. It's probably true. She says it's probably true, and don't even think about talking shit to them about me if you want to keep seeing them. So women will leverage the kids. Uh, yeah, cocks, simps, and white knights in her inbox saying you deserve so much better than him. I'm here for you. So yeah, there you have divorce. Um, why would you put yourself through any of that bullshit? Like why? Like I don't get it. Are you that lonely? If you're that lonely, like I don't. If you want to deal with that, you know, don't say you weren't warned. Do not say you weren't warned. Um. Anyway, let's look at this. Some audio recordings. Listen to some audio recordings from this celebrity trial.
I want to say something to you that it was okay. That's the promise you gave me a little while ago. I'm telling you, if you lost memory last night of kicking me out the door with the fucker hitting me,
Again,
and
sorry.
and your memory is gone from uh, you kicking the bathroom door and hitting me in the skull as I was bent
Again,
down.
I am
Wait,
sorry.
if you have those memory, fucking, divots.
I was upset. There was a lot going on,
okay,
and I was
but wait.
on an Ambien. Like,
Okay,
why?
but wait.
Like, why are you obsessing over the fact that I can't remember it the way you remembered it? I said I was sorry. I didn't
Okay, I
deny
know
it.
that. I'm not talking about that. What I want.
So when women are upset, if they just say, "Oh, I was upset," they can. It's like a license to behave like an absolute bitch. Oh, I was upset. They can just get away with anything. It's like women genuinely think that the world revolves around them. It's like it's called solipsism. Another word is narcissism. They just think that everything revolves around them. So that's why when you argue with a woman, well, if you argue a point about you know whatever it may be, they're always going to, like, I mean, if you talk about women in general, or talk about another woman or another situation, uh, the woman, a lot of time they'll always bring it back to them. So you'll see it on Fresh and Fit. Mine will say something about a particular woman or a certain situation, and women will the other women on the panel will take offense to it because they'll just assume that he's talking about them, you know in particular when he's talking about someone else. It's because they think that everything revolves around them.
No,
And
it's not to get you mad. It's not to get. It's just to get out of a bad situation while it's happening before it gets worse. In Australia, when we had the big fight where I lost the tip of my finger, at least 5 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms I went to
to avoid talking to me, to
to
avoid
escape
working it out. That's
to
the
escape
problem.
the fight.
You don't escape the fight. You escape the solution. You
No.
escape the solution. You
No.
escape figuring it out. We cannot work it out if you run away to the bathroom every time.
Listen to me. Listen to me. A boxer can't go 12 rounds without a fucking minute break.
I'm not giving you a minute break. You do it at minute 3 at the beginning of an argument.
No. There are rounds, man. And when it gets too fucking hairy, the ref splits them apart or whatever. But all I'm saying is, you, you can't have a solution if the argument just keeps mounting and mounting and mounting and mounting. I fucking go to the into the bathroom and sit on the floor. Bam, bam, bam. Here you come. I come out. Fight, fight, fight. Crazy. Escalated. I go split again. I go to another fucking bathroom.
So he's obviously trying to, you know, from the audio, it's clear that he was obviously trying to retreat so that she wouldn't hit him, or attack him or do any of that. Um, I remember I was out and I saw this chick, this Western chick, kind of slap this guy in the same circle. We were kind of There was a group of people and we were drinking or whatever, and she slapped him, kind of playfully, kind of seriously, But I think I commented on it. I said, "Damn, don't do that to me." And she says, she was drunk, so she said, like, "Why not?" And I said, "Because I'd hit you back." And oh, it was like, oh my god, it was hilarious because she just the shock on her face, um, was just like she just couldn't believe it, and then she just got into an argument with me because she was just like, "What do you mean you'd hit a woman?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, only if I get hit." And then she was like, "But you said you'd hit a woman." I said, "Only if I got hit, like only if someone hit me. It doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man or anyone. If someone hits me, I'm gonna hit them back." And then she was just like, it was hilarious, man, because she actually started crying. Like she was like, obviously she was pissed. She was kind of drunk, I guess, so that didn't help. By the way, don't get into arguments with drunk women. Just retreat. Just avoid them. Just avoid them. But it just the entitlement of this bitch, like, it was hilarious. I mean, like, so I kept explaining to her. No, I would say I would never initiate any kind of violence with a woman ever. I'm not interested or a man. I'm not interested in initiating violence because I know the consequences of violence. There's consequences to violence. Um, like, if a man hits me, um, it's almost like it's almost gives me a license to kill. Like, if I hit another man, if I initiate violence with another man, that gives him almost gives him a license to kill me. So you should be very careful about initiating violence with anyone. Um, it should be definitely a last resort. Uh, because, like, I'm serious. Like, if someone hits me, like, it could end up very badly. Like, or if I hit someone, it could end up very badly for me too, because you can't initiate violence. Anyway, going down a rabbit hole. But she was just shocked. She couldn't believe it. And even though I explained to her, I just said, like, you know, I said it kind of jokingly, but obviously seriously. I said, "Don't do that. Don't do that to me." I was like, joking around, but also serious. And I explained to her, I just said to her, like, if you slap me like that, I'd slap you back. And she just was so, like, outraged. Um, and then she kind of was like threatening to hit me, and I was like, "Don't do it." And at that point, I kind of left the situation because I wasn't interested in being in around these drunk idiots. So, but it just goes to show the entire imagine, like, the delusion, the entitlement. We're all equal. We're all the same. Men and women are all. There's no difference. There's no biological difference. Men and women are. Oh, it's like women can compete in men's sports and men can compete in women's. But we're all the same, bitch. Like, if you hit me, you're getting hit back, straight up, straight up. It has to happen like that.
Bathroom or a bedroom or something. Knock, knock, knock. Bang, bang, bang. You kept coming to get me.
Plus, I mean, you go on World Star Hip Hop. I mean, you go on the internet, man. You're seeing all these, like, delusional women that have just been brought up so badly, man, with such one of the things I really like about Japan is that women are very like they understand that men are like it would be very they I've never had a Japanese woman try and like I don't even see it. I don't even see Japanese women fighting amongst themselves. You don't you rarely see Japanese dudes fighting amongst themselves. You see funny two Japanese dudes fighting is like it's fucking hilarious because they pretend like they're gonna fight each other by shouting at each other for ages, and then they wait for their friends to pull them apart because they never really wanted to fight in the first place. Um, I've never really seen a fight in Japan. I mean, that's a good thing. I'm not, but I'm just saying it's just funny. It's funny when if you see these tough guy Japanese fucking drunk idiots pretending that they're gonna fight, and then they never do. Um, I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's a good thing that they don't. It's not a fucking good thing to fight when you're out drunk and shit. So, but it's also annoying to see them pretending to act tough and all that shit. It's like shut the fuck up. Either you're gonna fight or not. Like to stop shouting and causing a scene and pretending like you're gonna fight and then never fight. So just it's just very stereotypical thing that you don't it's what you're not going to see a fight in Japan. You're going to see two dudes pretending to fight. But anyway, I'm rambling. You never see women. Women are smart enough to know in Japan that um, they're feminine. They'd be scared. They'd be scared to hit a man, and they should be because it's like I'd be scared to hit a guy that's stronger than me. I of course I would if I went up and fought a train. If I went up and hit a guy that's like 6'6", built like a brick house, it would be a stupid thing to do because I like it's a different weight class. It's not wouldn't be smart, and that's what it's like when a woman goes and hits a man. But yet Western women do it and they're starting to get decked more and more. They're starting to get decked, laid out because it's not hard to lay out a woman. It's not impressive, but yeah, they choose the fights. So um Aranor says, I've had two women hit me as an adult in the US. I didn't hit back, but I could have destroyed them if I wanted. Well, you have more patience than I do. I mean, maybe you don't need to. But the thing is, like, if you don't hit them back, then it emboldens them to do it again. Um, I think if a woman you know, I wouldn't punch a woman, but I mean, if a woman punched me, I'd probably respond with a slap. And that's fair enough, I think. I think it's a fair exchange because you need to lay down the law. But you could respond with a punch. Like if you like that's what I was saying earlier. Like if you initiate violence, it's a very dangerous thing to do because it gives the other person, yeah, it gives them. They have more room to fuck you up, basically, in the eyes of the law. Um,
True. I'm not the one who fucking throws fucking pots and
Those are different.
whatever
That's
the
different.
fucking else at me.
That's different. That's one does not negate the other. That's irrelevant. It's a complete non sequitur. Just because I've thrown pots and pans does not mean that you come and knock on the door. Just because there are vases does not mean that you come and knock on the door.
Really, I should just let you throw.
I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making non
I'm
sequiturs.
giving you a situation.
No, you're trying to justify how you don't or do come to the door
No,
based
I'm
on whether I throw
justifying.
pots and pans. It's
No,
irrelevant.
I'm justifying how you seem to think that there's this cowardice in me that runs away and I don't fight for you.
And you're justifying that by saying I throw pots and pans. Okay, cool. Let's
No,
talk about everything you do wrong.
I'm not the one who.
What's like this idea? Women should just not engage in violence in any way, shape, or form. There's no reason they should do it. Um, just like I should not engage. You know, I should not initiate violence with anyone. Uh, you shouldn't. Obviously, you shouldn't initiate violence with anyone that doesn't deserve to be attacked or deserve to be hit or anything like that. But you should definitely not attack someone who is in a position to fuck you up. You know, uh, if you go and attack someone who's way more capable of fucking you up, then you deserve your ass beat, man. You deserve your ass beat like badly. Like you deserve a good beating, like a good beating. Like I don't have any sympathy for people who initiate violence. Like especially like it's one thing if you're done wrong and then you attack someone who can fuck you up, but if you attack someone who you who doesn't deserve to be attacked and they're way stronger than you, they're way more capable of fucking you up, you deserve such a beating. You deserve such a fucking beating. And most men do not like. Most men are blue pills, so like, or and white knights, and they're raised never hit a woman. You shouldn't hit anyone, not only women. You shouldn't initiate violence with anyone, but men are stronger than women, so that's why we're taught never hit women because they're weaker. Women are weaker than men. All the social justice warriors crying, and all the women is crying about hearing me say that. Women are fucking weaker than men, so that's why we're told not to hit them. So that means women should not, under any circumstances, hit men. Like even if a woman is being you know attacked by a man, her best form of defense is to is to actually retreat, like try and escape the situation. That should be her form of attack. If she's being attacked, because you know obviously if she's back in, like if she's being attacked wrongfully, then she should do whatever it takes. But the best form of defense for a woman is to retreat. If she can't retreat, then yeah, okay, she can fight back, sure. But yeah, unfortunately it's probably gonna make the situation a lot worse. Um, to retaliate, to fight back. So that's why I said the best form of defense for a woman is to retreat because they're weaker. Yeah, I said it. All this fucking social justice warriors, like all the womanists, like screeching and crying. Yeah, go fuck yourself, dickheads. It is what it is. Um,
I said to Travis. I said no. I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened.
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said no. Tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the
You're right.
fucking thing. And
You figured it out.
And you said, no, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I watched you lie. And then
I didn't punch you, by the way. I'm sorry that I didn't hit you across the face in a proper slap, but I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
You've been a lot of fights, been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a close.
You didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you. I don't know what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch.
I was not. I was not. I was not punching you. I was hitting you. I mean, and you can hear just the hysterical emotion in her voice. It's like, why would you subject yourself to being in a relationship with a chick like this? Um, yeah, just boggles my mind. It just boggles my mind how these rich celebrities. Why do they be monogamous? Why are they getting into relationships with why are they marrying chicks? Like, why don't they just live the player lifestyle? Why don't they just, you know, I don't know, like have a harem of women? Like, being monogamous with these psychopath women is just like, what's the reward? What's the benefit?
Punch you. I was hitting you. How? What am I supposed to do? Do this? I'm not sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are. That's the difference between me and you. You're a fucking baby. You are such a baby. Grow the fuck up, Johnny.
Physical fights.
That's so typical of what a chick would do, especially a Western chick. They'll try and gaslight you, turn the tables on you. They'll initiate, like, that's just very, very typical of what a chick would do. They'll hit you, they'll slap you, and then you'll be like, "Don't hit me, don't slap me, don't do this, don't." Very, very, very fucking reasonable requests. By the way, don't hit me, don't slap me. Extreme, excessively reasonable, actually. Yeah. But they'll turn around and call you, shame you, shaming tactics, call you a baby, tell you to grow up, expect you to, man up, take your hits. Just allow me, because I'm a woman, allow me to hit you, grow up, like, it's like intolerable fucking entitlement. Fucking intolerable entitled bitch. Like, seriously, like, and this is not this is just the culture of Western women. This is the culture of Western society. It's just pure fucking entitlement.
I did start a physical fight.
You did, so I had to
Because
get the fuck out of there.
yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable. Mr. Depp.
I honestly think, I honestly think somebody, like, this is a controversial thing to say, but I honestly think some of these women want to. I think she wants to be beaten. She wanted him to beat her. Like, she just wanted him to beat her ass. Like, that's a hot take. But I just think it's like, she wanted to be disciplined. Like, it's like, in a way, she's like behaving like a spoiled child. It's just keep fucking pushing the boundary, pushing, 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 wanting, just. And the fact that she, obviously, I don't know if he did or not, or what he did. I haven't really paid it, I haven't been listening to this trial, like, much at all. But I've just paid attention to it a little bit. Maybe he did beat her. I don't know, but it's like, it just appears that there's just something there that she just wants him to do something, because she's chasing him around the house, she's hitting him, he's retreating, and she's shaming him. She's just like a fucking, you know just like a mosquito. Like, it's just a mosquito that won't go away. It just wants to be, like, crushed. um yeah, I don't know. It's just some destructive behavior.
Could you please explain to the jury what they just heard on those audio recordings?
Um, what was just played on the audio recordings? was very much the tone and the aggression and the attitude and the need for a fight from his herd. That was, I don't know if that was some need for attention, but I don't, it, that was a sound that I had gotten very used to. The, the squabbling, the, you know, the raising of the voice to.
So this kind of thing only happens when, you know, this didn't happen overnight. Like this kind of just this violence, this deterioration of the relationship. Johnny Depp he has the money locked in, solid. Like there's no like he has money for he'll never go poor. Like he'll never be a poor man. Even if he lost all his money today, he'd still, you know, just through earning, you know, whatever it's called, royalties on other old films and whatnot. Like he'll never be a poor man. Money's locked in. Muscles. I mean, obviously, I mean, muscles covers. He's, you know, I mean, I think he's in his 50s. I mean, he appears to be in. I doubt he's not jacked, but I mean, he's in decent shape. I mean, um, I heard I don't know who it was. I heard someone say he looked like shit. He doesn't look like shit. I don't know who said it, but someone was like, "Oh, he looks like shit." I mean, this man has done tons of drugs, drank tons. You know, he looks pretty fucking good. I mean, he's in his 50s. How old is Johnny Depp? Let me check. Uh, let me see. He's fucking 58 years old. I think it was on the Joe Rogan podcast. Someone said, some guests, I think one of Joe Rogan's guests said Johnny Depp looks terrible. He's 58 years old. He looks pretty fucking good. Shit, man. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so let's say, you know, money, fitness for a man that's done a lot of drugs, a man that's like, you know, 58 years old, he's pretty fucking, he still looks good, man. So, you know, um, Money Muscles the man has no game and the man has no frame. So he has money and looks down. The man has zero game and zero frame. And this is what happens, man. When he never needed to learn game. He never needed game because he was always famous. He was famous since he was um I don't know, I think it was 20 or something. I don't know, young man, very young, like barely out of his teens, like he became famous. I'm not an expert on his career or anything. I don't know. I think he was in some film when he was very young. When it was, a 20-year-old man is a fucking child basically. It's, you haven't developed into yourself at all. So he was always famous. He never needed to really understand women. He probably always had women coming to him. Like when you have this level of fame, you just have uh he had when you have a level of fame like Johnny Depp has, you will have like women come to you, like undoubtedly. Like for your 99.9% of men will never experience that kind of like, because it's just so rare that, celebrities like that is just that will receive that kind of attention from women is super rare. Most men will never experience it. Like even even men that are handsome would never experience the kind how easy it would be to get women with that level of fame. Um, so yeah, he obviously entered this relationship and allowed her to behave like a bitch from the start. This, like I said, something like this would never just happen overnight. Oh, just suddenly the relationship breaks down. he obviously had no frame or game from the start. Um, Matt W says he looks as good as my dad did at that age. I'd say he's aged really well and took care of himself despite his hard partying lifestyle. See, although he's had a hard partying lifestyle, he's obviously he's eating the creme de la creme of food. Like sleeping in silk sheets. It's obviously that helped. Probably going to luxury resorts and spas and all kinds of stuff. So you can do all the drugs and stuff like that, but if you you're still you're not your regular kind of junkie. Like you're, yes, like I said, sleeping in silk sheets, eating caviar and fine steak, the best of the best. So obviously that's going to help you age well too. But I just thought it was funny. Some guest on Joe Rogan said Johnny Depp looked like shit. Dude does not look like shit. Far from it. He's wearing a nice suit. He's not fat. And, he still has a full head of hair. He's I don't know what the fuck that guest was talking about. But Johnny Depp, if you look like Johnny Depp when you're 58, you're winning. You're fucking winning. Man looks good. Um, Man definitely looks good. He would have no problem getting women. Like he at 58, Johnny Depp could still get women in hot. Like he could be banging 21-year-olds easily. Easy, like that goes out without even saying. And not only because he's rich or famous, but like if he didn't have any fame and he looked like this and he had his shit together, he could bang 21-year-olds for sure. Absolutely. um uh Matt says the dude looks as good or younger than Rich or Rolo, and he's got 10 on them both. um Matt says the guest is a hater. I wonder, can I pull it up? Let me see. uh YouTube, Joe Rogan. See, I think I want to see if I can find. Yeah, someone said he looked like shit on Joe Rogan. I'm pretty sure it was. Uh, I'm not. I don't know. It was one of his guests. Not sure which guest it was. Anyway, fuck it. I'm not going to try and find it now. But yeah. So let me just.
To essentially excommunicate anything that I had to say about the situation. But then, and I do remember the that incident. I believe that's from the when I was in the bathroom and I was in fact taking a shower, and this was in penthouse 3, and she came banging on the door, banging on the door, banging on the door. I didn't answer. I was in the shower. I couldn't deal with it. I didn't want to deal with any more of that uh, sarcastic, demeaning, um,
See, this is why you need to enter a relation. If you're entering a relationship with a chick, you need to enter with solid frame and solid game, because, like, if a woman has any hint of disrespect, any hint of behaving out of line, any hint of acting entitled, like you nip it in the bud. Like they're out, they're gone. Like it's an abundance mindset. When you have frame and game, it's like, bitch, you're done. Like you're like see, it would never even, if Johnny Depp had game or frame, he would never even have gotten married to this chick. He wouldn't have ever gotten into a relationship with her probably. 'Cause I'm sure she showed signs or signals that she is capable or of this while they were dating, while he was seeing her. Just how she behaves. Um, yeah, definitely. He definitely Johnny Depp has no game and no frame. Um, Matt says he could easily 100%. My dad could still pick, maybe still pick 21-year-olds at 58. Not that he regularly pursued them, but they did throw their numbers at him, and he was of average money status. Yeah, man. I mean, men age like wine, women age like, yeah. So
Aggressive, violent, toxic spew. Um, and so I was taking a shower and I didn't want to answer the door. She kept banging. And then I finally got out of the shower and I opened the bathroom door about just that much, just so I could have a good hold on the door in case she tried to burst in. And I was right, she did. She was, bathroom doors go in. She was pushing all her weight on the door, trying to get in. And I was pushing back because I didn't want to let her in because I obviously didn't want the confrontation. She was not in best of moods. You can hear. Uh, so when I was pushing the bathroom door, trying to close it, and was almost closed, she suddenly kind of yelped in pain. And she screamed out, "Ow, my toes or my foot or something." And so in that second, I thought possibly her foot had gotten caught under the door, which would, of course, not feel great on the foot or the toes. So I thought she was maybe injured. So I knelt down to have a look. The door was still, it was still pretty well about that much open. And when I knelt down uh, on my hands and knees to look at her foot to see the injury, um, she kicked the bathroom door uh, into my head. So yeah, she kicked the bathroom door into my head, and I was completely taken aback by such a corrosive.
like I said, I haven't like paid much attention to other than these few videos, but to this case. But I have noticed like just how much detail, uh, how they're getting cross-examined and all that. Like imagine like having to go through all that, how stressful it would be having your life cross-examined, all this private information. I'm not sure what they're allowed to. I'm not sure what the process is, or like are the police involved, or like how they get access. Like, are they allowed to get access to your private like data or like your information? Um, like how fucking stressful would that be? Like to have your so invasive, having to talk about this shit. Why would you ever put yourself in such a position to like, that's why game and frame are so important for men to learn. Because you wouldn't even get close to getting into a situation like this, because you would always nip things in the bud. Like if you're dealing with a chick, it's just like she shows like any indication that she's an absolute bitch or she has some serious issues, she's out. Like she's done. Doesn't matter how hot she is. Doesn't matter how if she did, she was sweet or she was nice in other aspects. If she's a bitch like to you, if she like disrespects you, if she thinks she can step to you, if any bitch thinks she can step to you, like in any kind of violent, aggressive manner, get her the fuck out of your life. Get her the fuck out. Tell her to fuck off and be done with her. Ghost her ass. Done. Because you could bust that bitch up. Like, and then you'd be in trouble. You'd be the one that gets fucking. You would be the one is gonna. So for the thing is, the reality of the world is, and especially in Western societies, is if a bitch steps to you, attacks you, hits you, and then you retaliate, teach her a lesson, let her know what's up. You're the one that's probably gonna go to jail, unless there's video, unless there's explicit evidence to to show that she was the one that initiated violence. And even if there is, and you're maybe you they could say you were excessive or you used too much force or whatever. It's just like nah. It's just everything in it's pretty much all on the side. It's a matriarchy. The Western society is a matriarchy. It's like everything's on the side of females. Although we're constantly, and it's constant, that we're constantly told that we live in a patriarchy. Everything's on the side of men. It's like nah. It's like it's really not. Um. Uh. Yeah.
That horrific move. So I stood up, and I believe I stood up, and at this point the door was open. I stood up and I said, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? And the next move was just a bang, and just she clocked me in the jaw, and that was another shocker.
How
So
long
she,
after that did you start recording?
sorry,
How long after that did you start recording that audio recording that we just heard?
that audio recording was about her trying to make less of what had happened. In fact, trying to make less of what had happened by repeating some story to me that didn't make any sense. And it certainly didn't make any sense since I was there and I was the target. So I wanted some confirmation from someone with some semblance of a mind that could understand what was happening. I wanted Mr. McGivern to come up, and I asked her to tell him what had just happened. And her answer was essentially, I don't know what he's talking about. Nothing happened. He's fine. And once again, I told Mr. McGivern, time to leave the premises.
Mr. Depp, I'd like to show you now what's been marked as Plaintiff's Exhibit 162.
Okay.
What a shit show. What a shit show. Cameron says it must be exhausting to hold a fake sad face like that for days. Well, they are actors, or the both of them are. She's an actor, he's an actor. But yeah, man. I mean, what a complete shit show. I mean, it just it's just inviting. Why would you invite? Like, the guy could be living such a more pleasurable life, like, uh, but like I said, the thing is, he's always been, well, since he's been very young, since he was a very young man, he's always had like wealth and fame so he's never had to learn game or frame. Like genuinely, you don't learn game or frame when you've had everything, like kind of when you've had it all, like when you've had like wealth and fame. You don't really need to learn game because money's, money's there for you. Like you've gotten it, you've sealed that bag, and then women just come along, because you're famous, you're good looking. um so it's like you don't need it. You genuinely, well, you do need it in the long run, because you run into situations like this. Because that's why we see it all the time, like famous people, celebrities getting wrecked because they've been famous from a young age, and they've never had to like figure women out. They've never gotten red pilled. I mean, I'm sure he's gotten red pill now. um or has he? That's the thing. Like it's like, he's the type of guy that will probably go, finish up with this whole disaster, and go and start dating or marry another bitch, you know. um Matt says that bitch looks exactly like the chick from Gone Girl. It's scary. I've never seen Gone Girl. Um, Let me look it up. Gone Girl. Gone Girl. Okay, I gotta check it out. Yeah, she kind of does actually. Um, Gotta check that movie out. Um, Matt says this shit is super embarrassing. Way too embarrassing to be all over TV. Um, Matt says Johnny Depp should have receipts like Mac regularly does. LOL, but he probably never will. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's almost easier. It's almost easier to live like a player lifestyle, like me. When you're not famous. I remember I had like because once you're not famous, it's kind of like, in a way it can be hard to maybe hard to live the player lifestyle. Like you can get all the women, but you're at risk from like getting like, me too, or like way, or all kinds of shit happening to you, or getting scammed or exposed, because chicks, people will try and take advantage of you. Like when you're a regular dude and you're not like famous or anything, like me. um it's almost easier. Like I could meet a new girl every day of the week, and it's not going to be exposed, or like, and if it is exposed, no one cares because I'm not famous. It's like, if it's just not going to blow up, like it's not going to blow up. It's low key kind of shit. Um yeah, I mean, I think it's easier to get laid as a regular dude. It's in some sense, like obviously when you're famous, when you're famous and rich and famous and handsome, you can get the girls, but it's like, it's almost like it's just out there, it's exposed, like all the world's eyes are going to be on you all the time. um but yeah, so Matt W says watch it, Mac, ASAP. It's a classic. Will do, man. Thanks for the suggestion. um Cameron says, do you think she will get off, or will Johnny take the win? I have no idea, man. I haven't paid enough attention to the whole thing. I've just watched some clips because I basically just want to talk about the subject of marriage, and how stupid it is in the age we live in, um, and kind of how outdated it is for men, because it doesn't benefit men, like in the world we live in. It's like it's just so risky, and like even for regular guys that aren't rich or famous, like it's still risky, and it's still, you can invite a lot of shit onto your plate. Um, if you get involved in it, um, it just doesn't seem worth it in 2022. It doesn't benefit men. Like I'm of the opinion that marriage was always for it was always for women. It was always to benefit and take care of women. It was never really like as a hot blooded, red blooded male that it being monogamous and being with one woman and having to work and all this shit and have all these responsibilities doesn't really benefit you know men. It's like it unless you're a trad con and some guys might want to have kids and all that, but yeah, I mean, but I think it's much more um it's obviously it's much more ingrained into women to want to have kids than it is. A man can go throughout his life and and not raise kids, and I think he can be happy, he can live a happy life. But I don't believe it's the same for women. I genuinely don't think so. Um, I'll never be a woman, so I don't know. Just from observation. Um, but yeah, guys, gonna cut it there. Got some shit to do. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. Check out the links in the description if you want to. If you want a game consultation, if you want to develop your cold approach skills, hit me up for a consultation. You can, or you can book that on my website. Um, yeah, so that's the way to go. Way to go is cold approach. That's how I do it. You know, if you're living in a city, if you're living in anywhere where it's possible to do cold approach, the quality of the women you're going to get from doing cold approach is just so much high. Going to be so much higher than the women you're going to be able to get from dating apps, because women on dating apps have way, way too many options. Like even the ugly chicks. Like so, like if you really want to remedy that shit, you gotta do cold approach. That's like cold approach is never going away, guys, and it's like it's the best way to get the best bang for your buck. Like if the quality of the women I get on dating apps compared to the ones I get from cold approach is like it's like night and day, and I that's why I don't like I at this point I dabble in dating apps very like just casually, like not expecting much because I don't even need to use them. Um, it's more out of just curiosity that I just have them, just to see what they're about. It's not like a strategy that I use. My strategy to get laid is like, vast majority is cold approach, day game, and some night game as well. Um, and that's all I need. Um, if I lived in in different locations, if I lived in you know other locations, I might have to engage more in online dating and dating apps. But that's why I like dating. It's like dating. It needs to be customized to your everyone's individual circumstance. Um, you know, like if I lived in Ireland, I'd probably put a lot more effort into my dating profiles and lock it down as best I can. Um, but since I live in a big city with so much like access to like chicks on the street and out and about, it's like concrete jungle kind of shit where you can go outside and you can see hot girls all like everywhere. Um, it just makes sense to do cold approach and you know so if you want to learn about how to do it, how I do it, the systems I have in place, because there are systems that you need to lock in, and you can just repeat it. I've had the same system going for years, and it's just it works. um yeah, check out the link in the description, book a consultation. And yeah, until Thursday 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out. Bye bye.